Hey, welcome back to Step by Step English, the podcast that makes English simple, clear, and fun. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sofia. So happy to be here with you again today.
Okay, I need to ask you something, and I want you to be completely honest. Have you ever needed to make a phone call in English, and instead of calling, you just didn't? You avoided it completely?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I once needed to call a restaurant to make a reservation. Simple, right? 5 minutes, easy. But I sat there for 20 minutes just staring at my phone, too scared to call.
20 minutes. And what did you do instead?
I drove there in person to make a reservation that I could have done in 2 minutes on the phone.
Ha! And you know what? That is one of the most common experiences for English learners. Phone calls are terrifying, and there's a very specific reason why. When you talk to someone face-to-face, you have their expressions, their gestures, their body language. You can ask them to repeat. You can point. You can show things. But on the phone, it's just the voice. No context, no visual clues, just words, fast, sometimes unclear, with accents and background noise.
And if you don't understand, you panic. And when you panic, your English disappears.
Exactly. But here's the good news. Phone calls in English follow patterns. There are specific phrases that appear again and again in almost every phone call. And once you know those phrases, once you have them ready, the fear goes away. Or at least it gets much, much smaller.
Today, we are going to give you everything you need: phrases, vocabulary, real conversations, and strategies for when things go wrong. By the end of this episode, you will be ready to pick up that phone and call.
Let's go.
Let's start by understanding the real problem. Why are phone calls specifically so difficult, even for people who can hold a conversation in English?
There are 4 main reasons. Reason number 1, no visual information. In a face-to-face conversation, you understand maybe 40% of communication from body language, facial expressions, and gestures. On the phone, all of that disappears. You only have the voice.
Reason number 2, you can't control the speed. In a normal conversation, people naturally slow down when they see you don't understand. On the phone, they often speak at full speed, especially receptionists and customer service agents who repeat the same script 50 times a day.
Reason number 3, unexpected vocabulary. You prepare for one type of conversation, and then the person says something completely different that you didn't expect, and your mind goes blank.
Reason number 4, the pressure feels higher. If you're in a store and you don't understand something, you can point at things, use your phone to translate, or ask someone nearby for help. On the phone, you feel alone, and that pressure makes everything harder.
But here is the most important thing to understand. Phone calls are predictable. Every type of phone call, a doctor's appointment, a restaurant reservation, a customer service call, follows almost the same structure every time. Open, handle, close. Once you know the structure and the key phrases, you are ready for most situations.
So let's break it down. Let's start with the basics that apply to every phone call you will ever make.
Opening a call. Every phone call starts the same way. Someone picks up, someone speaks first. And there is a very specific, very predictable opening exchange.
When you call someone, here is how you open. Step 1, introduce yourself immediately. Don't just say hello and wait. Say who you are right away. Hi, this is Alex calling. Or hello, my name is Alex. Or hi, my name is Alex and I'm calling about.
Step 2, state your reason for calling right after your name. Don't make them guess. I'm calling to make an appointment. I'm calling about my order. I'm calling to get some information about your services.
Step 3, ask if it's a good time to talk, especially for personal calls. Is this a good time to talk? Or do you have a few minutes?
So the full opening sounds like, hi, this is Sofia calling. I'm calling to make a reservation for Saturday evening. Is that something I can do over the phone?
Clean, clear, confident. That's all you need for the opening.
When someone answers, here are what you will typically hear. In a business context, good morning. Thank you for calling company name. This is Sarah speaking. How can I help you?
Or shorter versions. Hello, company name. How can I help? Thank you for calling. How may I direct your call?
The phrase, "How may I direct your call?" means they want to know which department or person you need to speak to. A common answer, "I'd like to speak with someone in customer service, please," or "I need to speak with the billing department."
In an informal, personal call, a friend or family member picks up and says, hello, or hey, or yeah. In that case, just identify yourself and say why you're calling. Hey, it's Sofia. Do you have a minute?
Asking to speak with someone. Very common situation. You call a business and need to reach a specific person. Here are the phrases.
May I speak with Dr. Johnson, please? Formal, polite, perfect for professional calls.
Could I speak to the manager? Also formal, useful for complaints or escalating a situation.
Is Maria available? More casual, works for less formal offices or when you know the person.
I'd like to speak with someone about my account, when you don't have a specific name.
Holding and transferring. When you ask for someone, you will often be put on hold. Hold means wait. They pause the conversation and you listen to music or silence while they find the person. Common phrases you'll hear.
Please hold, or can you hold for a moment? Your response, of course, or sure, no problem.
I'm going to transfer you now. They are sending your call to a different person or department. Transfer means to move your call somewhere else.
One moment, please. Just wait. Don't hang up. They're coming back.
I'm sorry, that line is busy. The person you want to speak with is already on another call. Busy means occupied, not available.
Would you like to leave a message? They're asking if you want to leave information for the person to call you back.
Closing a call. Ending a phone call in English has its own etiquette, its own social rules. You don't just hang up. There's a closing sequence.
Step 1. Confirm what was discussed or what will happen next. So just to confirm, my appointment is on Thursday at 3 p.m. Or, so you'll send that to my email address?
Step 2. Express thanks. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking my call.
Step 3. Say goodbye. Okay, this is the section everyone needs the most. What do you do when you don't understand what the other person said?
Because it will happen. It happens to native speakers too. The connection is bad, they speak too fast, they have a strong accent, there's background noise, you miss something.
The worst thing you can do is say nothing and pretend you understood, because then you might miss something important, an appointment time, an address, a reference number. Always ask for clarification.
Here are your survival phrases. Learn these by heart. Have them ready. They are your safety net.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? The most basic and most useful phrase works in every situation.
Could you speak a little more slowly, please? You're not asking them to repeat, you're asking them to slow down. Completely acceptable, completely polite.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Catch here means understand or hear clearly. I didn't catch your name. I didn't catch the last part.
Could you spell that for me, please? Perfect when someone gives you a name, a street address, or a reference number. My last name is Kowalski. Could you spell that for me, please?
Just to confirm, did you say Thursday the 15th? You repeat back what you think you heard to verify it's correct.
I'm sorry, the connection isn't very clear. Could you say that again? This puts the problem on the connection, not on your English. Very useful and completely natural.
Let me make sure I have that right. You're about to repeat back information to confirm it. Let me make sure I have that right. Your address is 42 Oak Street, correct?
And one very important phrase if you are completely lost. I apologize. I want to make sure I understand correctly. Could you go over that one more time? Go over means to review or explain again.
One of the most common phone situations, the person you need isn't available. The receptionist asks, "Would you like to leave a message?" And many learners freeze. What do you say?
Here's exactly what to say when leaving a message.
Yes, please. Could you tell him like Alex called? My number is 555-0192. I'll try again this afternoon, but he's welcome to call me back.
Let's break that down. Could you tell him that Alex called? You're asking them to pass on the information. My number is... Give your phone number clearly and slowly. He's welcome to call me back. He can call you if he wants to.
Other useful phrases. Could you ask her to call me back when she's available? Call me back means to return your call.
Could you let him know I called? Informal, but very natural.
Now, what if you are the one taking a message?
I'm afraid she's not available right now. Can I take a message? I'm afraid here is a polite way to say unfortunately.
She's away from her desk at the moment. Would you like to leave a message? Away from her desk means she's not at her workstation right now.
Can I ask who's calling? You want to know the caller's name.
And what's the best number to reach you? You're asking for their phone number so the person can call them back.
Let's put everything together with complete, real phone conversations. These are the exact situations you will face. Practice repeating the caller's lines out loud.
Conversation 1. Making a doctor's appointment. Good morning, Riverside Medical Clinic. This is Emma speaking. How can I help you?
Good morning. My name is Sofia Ramirez. I'm calling to make an appointment with Dr. Chen, please.
Of course. Are you a new patient or have you been here before?
I'm a new patient.
And what's the reason for your visit?
I've been having headaches for about 2 weeks. I'd like to get them checked out.
Dr. Chen has availability on Wednesday at 2 p.m. or Friday at 10 a.m. Which would work better for you?
Wednesday at 2 p.m. works perfectly.
Can I get your date of birth and phone number?
Sure. Date of birth is March 15th, 1990, and my number is 555-0192.
So we have you down for Wednesday the 12th at 2 p.m. with Dr. Chen. Please arrive 10 minutes early to fill out your new patient forms.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Goodbye.
You too. Bye.
Conversation 2. Calling customer service about a problem. Thank you for calling ShopFast customer service. My name is James. How can I assist you today?
Hi, James. My name is Sophia, and I'm calling about an order I placed last week. I received the wrong item.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can I get your order number?
Yes, it's SF4492B.
Let me pull that up. Could you hold for just a moment?
Of course.
Thank you for holding. You ordered a blue jacket size medium, is that correct?
That's right, but I received a red jacket in size large.
I apologize for the inconvenience. I can send out the correct item today with express shipping or process a full refund. Which would you prefer?
I'd prefer to get the correct item, please.
I'll send that out today. You'll receive it within 2 business days and get a confirmation email with the tracking number.
That's great. Could you just confirm my email address?
I have sophia.ramirez@email.com. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you so much, James.
My pleasure. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's everything. Have a great day.
Conversation 3. Making a restaurant reservation. Good evening, La Bella Cucina. How can I help you?
Good evening. I'd like a reservation for Saturday, please.
Of course. For how many people?
For 4 people around 7:30 if possible.
Yes, we have a table at 7:30. Can I get a name?
It's under Sofia, Sofia, Ramirez.
And a phone number in case we need to reach you.
555-0147.
Perfect. Saturday at 7:30, table for 4 under Sofia Ramirez. Any allergies or special requests?
Yes, one guest is vegetarian. Can you accommodate that?
Absolutely. We have several vegetarian options. I'll make a note.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
We look forward to seeing you Saturday. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Let's talk about the most common mistakes people make on phone calls in English.
Mistake number 1, saying, I am Alex, instead of, this is Alex. When you introduce yourself on the phone, native speakers say, this is Alex, not, I am Alex. It sounds like a small difference, but I am Alex sounds very unnatural on the phone. Always say, this is.
Mistake number 2, saying yes, yes, yes when you don't understand. Many learners agree to everything because they're afraid to ask for clarification. This is dangerous. You might agree to something you don't want. Always say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Be honest. People appreciate it.
Mistake number 3, not confirming information. Always confirm before you hang up. Just to confirm, the appointment is at 3 p.m. on Thursday, correct? This takes 10 seconds and saves a lot of problems.
Mistake number 4, speaking too fast when nervous. When nervous, people speak too fast and make more mistakes. Take a breath before you call. Find a steady, calm pace.
Mistake number 5,
not preparing before the call. Before any important call, write down the key information you need to give: your name, your number, your reason for calling, and the key information you need to receive. Having it on paper means you won't panic and forget.
Let's share some practical tips that will immediately make phone calls easier.
Tip number 1. Practice the opening out loud before you call. Say your introduction 3 or 4 times before you dial. Hi, my name is Sofia. I'm calling to make a reservation for Saturday evening. Hearing your own voice builds confidence.
Tip number 2. Have a pen and paper ready. Always. Write down anything important: times, names, numbers, addresses. Don't rely on memory when you're nervous.
Tip number 3. Find a quiet place. Background noise makes calls much harder for you and the other person.
Tip number 4. It's okay to tell them English is not your first language. Saying, "I'm sorry, could you speak a little more slowly? English is not my first language," is not embarrassing. It's practical. Most people will immediately slow down. They want to help you.
Tip number 5. Use the echo technique. When someone gives you information, repeat it back. So that's Thursday the 15th at 3 p.m., correct? This confirms the information and gives them a chance to correct any mistakes.
Tip number 6. Remember that the other person wants to help you. Receptionists, customer service agents, and restaurant staff, their job is to help you. They are not judging your English. They are not annoyed by your accent. They just want to understand you. So relax, you are on the same team.
Okay, let's bring everything together for our final review.
Today we tackled one of the biggest fears English learners have: making phone calls. And we discovered that phone calls are not random and unpredictable. They follow patterns. They use specific phrases. And once you know those phrases, the fear gets much smaller.
We learned how to open a call, introduce yourself, state your reason for calling, ask if it's a good time.
We learned vocabulary for holding, transferring, and closing a call.
We learned survival phrases for when you don't understand. Could you repeat that? Could you speak more slowly? I didn't quite catch that.
We learned how to weave and take messages. We practiced with 3 complete real conversations, and we covered the most common mistakes and the best pro tips.
You are ready. Pick up the phone, make the call. The worst that can happen is you ask them to repeat something, and that is completely okay.
Every phone call you make, even the imperfect ones, makes the next one easier. That's how confidence is built, not by reading about it, by doing it, one call at a time.
Step by step. You've got this.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Step by Step English. I'm Alex.
I'm Sophia.
Thank you so much for being here. We know how real this fear is, and we are so proud of you for facing it.
If this episode helped you, please subscribe to our channel right now. It's free, and every subscriber helps us keep making real, practical English content for you every week.
Leave us a comment. Tell us what type of phone call scares you the most. Doctor, customer service, a job interview? Tell us below. Maybe we'll make a specific episode about it.
Share this episode with someone who avoids phone calls in English. You might give them the courage to finally make that call they've been putting off.
And our next episode, Make versus Do. Make a mistake or do a mistake. All the answers coming very soon.
Subscribe and hit the bell. Until next time.
Step by step, you've got this.
Bye.
Bye.